Hello, my name is Erica Charis-Molling, and I am recording this book talk about the book Deaf Studies for Educators. I'm sure that's backwards right now, but this is the book that I chose to read. I did not get through all of it, so the two chapters that I was able to read that are most relevant to my understanding of this book are Deaf Studies, a Framework for Learning and Teaching, the keynote address from the conference itself, and then Deafness and Deaf Culture as Curricular Components. So this book is a collection of papers from a 1991 conference convened to explore deaf studies as a framework for teaching and learning. While focusing almost exclusively on the K-12 learning environment, the topics are highly variable, including ASL literature and poetry, bilingual and bicultural programs, art and history, and deaf identity, among others. The two papers that I read focused on the recentering of teaching and learning approaches around deaf experiences and a specific flexible curricular approach to teaching about deafness and deaf culture in mixed environments with deaf and hearing students, informed by best practices in foreign language pedagogy. This book would be most immediately useful to K-12 educators of deaf students or in integrated classrooms with at least one deaf student. However, its thinking and discussion would be of interest to any educator who's interested in incorporating deaf studies, ASL, and or deaf culture into their course or their curriculum. It was of further interest to me as someone who supports learning outside of the formal course structure in rethinking the ways that the library approaches instruction and programming. While the educator acknowledges that some of the language is dated and may even be considered offensive to our ears 30 years later, the ideas it articulates and the dialogues that it supports are still very much relevant. Those who enjoy and thrive on connecting their pedagogical principles to academic research and sharpening their practices through scholarly dialogue should get much from the voices in this book and what they have to offer. This is perhaps especially true when viewed in the historical context offered by the editor in the foreword to the book. In 1988, the Deaf President Now movement galvanized a sense of collective autonomy and power in the deaf community. As noted in this course, the energy and the organizing principles from that movement played an important role in the passage of Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990. The papers gathered in this book come from a conference convened just 1 year after ADA passed to re-envision the future of deaf education and deaf studies. In many ways, their hopes and dreams are still revolutionary today, but the energy from that movement that believed so fervently is still contagious in their writing today.